Bottom boys,
Bottom boys, bottom boys, bottom boys, bottom boys, bottom boys. Get 'em to the bottom of the bottom boys, young ass actors, bottom boys, Macaulay Culkin, yeah, bottom boys, yeah. Oh. Man, that had to be our worst one yet.
That was intense.
That was beautiful.
That was intense. Hi, welcome to the Bottom Boys cast. We are the Arson Club. I'm your Snake Daddy, your Cheeseburger Princess, your Shit Poster Supreme, Matt Keck. Alongside me is the light of my life,
Paul, young ass actor Shields.
Ooh, yeah, I feel like Paul could have been a child actor if he would have been born in a different place. Joining us today is none other than our old friend Dennis Chanay. What's up, Dennis?
Hello, guys.
Dennis.
Yeah, I feel like I've known Dennis at this point for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, but I've known him forever.
Maybe-ish.
We've been doing comedy around here forever. We had you do our Lucha Raptor show probably, 2, 3, 4 different times?
Yeah, it was always fun.
Hell yeah. So what's crappening, y'all? What are y'all been up to?
I got an update. You know how I said that I'm always getting lost dog updates on my neighborhood
Yeah.
thing?
Did you find a new dog?
No, last night they had somebody, they found a squirrel.
Yeah.
They put a squirrel on it. Like, anybody lose this squirrel?
There's just so many squirrels in our neighborhood. Like, how would you know? Like, there's no way you would know that. Sorry,
Maybe it had a collar.
I mean, yeah, they probably put a chip in it. They're definitely chipping these squirrels out here. We got freaking kamikaze squirrels though in this neighborhood. Like the old Geico commercial where they're like slapping hands because they made the car crash type of squirrel.
Oh yeah, they don't care.
No,
they jump out. They don't move when you walk by.
I try so
them.
hard to not hit these things, and I swear I've probably hit one at this point.
This is a squirrel hood?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I live in a rabbit hood.
You do?
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I have like one rabbit. We got a ton of like right behind because I live like right over here, and right behind our house we get a ton of like we got a fox, we got raccoons, we got an owl.
We do have an owl.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Do we have an eagle?
Owls.
There's a hawk.
I have a
swoops
hawk.
Over. Yeah.
There's definitely.
Yeah.
I saw turkeys walking down the damn water drain over here for sure. Turkeys.
Hell yeah.
I've seen turkeys. We got all kinds of wildlife going on. Moles or whatever the hell they're.
We got the
chipmunks.
Yeah.
Oh, those
yeah.
bastards.
So the chipmunks were like the first thing I saw when I moved in because I never had chipmunks at my house before, and man, those things are fucking crazy. They're so fast.
They are.
They're so fast, and they dig under all your like concrete and create like these huge underground like.
Oh yeah, and then then they crumble. The freaking step on it and the whole damn...
Yeah, my back porch like is broken in half on the concrete, and I didn't realize why forever, and then found out I saw the little guy just... There's not even a hole there. I don't know what...
Yeah, they're everywhere, yeah.
How do they fit through that?
Yeah. They never showed Chip and Dale burrowing under shit.
That's true. That's a friggin' superpower, though. These little rodents can fit through any size hole.
Oh, yeah.
Don't matter. Their bones are liquid.
I haven't seen that many rabbits, though.
I got chipmunks, rabbits. We got squirrels. I saw like a crane by the creek.
A crane? Nice. Did it have a baby?
Or something.
Was it delivering a baby?
I don't even know if maybe it's a stork. I don't know. It had long ass. All I know is I was walking on this trail by my house, and then I saw a 3-foot tall child-sized bird, and it scared me. It scared the fuck out of me.
Dennis got Watership Down going on over there.
Well, today we're going to talk about a subject that was, again, another suggestion. Actually, this one came from my wife, which I don't know what made her think about this subject because she was brushing her teeth and just said, you guys should get to the bottom of child actors. So my guess is it was Home Alone. My guess is she was thinking about
we just
because and how many times have you like been in the mirror, you did the slap thing, you put it, so I feel like maybe she was thinking Home Alone and thinking about how Macaulay Culkin was on this season of Celebrity Jeopardy. He just got his star on the Walk of Fame.
He did?
Yeah, thankfully he's kind of on the up and up after like his little crash and burn, but I think that's what put her on this. So today
I wore my Grease 2 shirt
in honor of
Well, Grease being the best Grease, but also because they're supposed to play children, but they're all like 40 years old.
Oh.
Yes.
That's the.
I feel like
they're supposed to play high school kids,
and I feel like that's
Yeah.
like something that's like the reverse of child actors that happens so much. Like One Tree Hill, and it's like y'all are 30. You guys are 30-year-olds in high school. I mean, Dawson's Creek was a little more believable, but they were still had to have been young, mid-20s.
Yeah, that original Grease, Rizzo, she was like,
oh God, yeah.
she had to be like 40
She
something.
was older than my
Yeah.
aunts. Yeah, I was like,
I think she was pregnant.
Yeah,
Probably.
She had a bun in the oven.
And
She's
probably-
one of my
yeah.
celebrity crushes, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of
Is
the
it-
Grease people?
Is it
Yeah,
like Rizzo?
believe it or not.
Is it the smoker voice?
It
or
might be.
like-
I don't know. It's I can't explain
Hey,
it.
coming to the Pink Ladies.
She sings some of the best songs in that movie.
She
She's
does.
hot. I don't know what it is.
She does have some really good
I
tracks.
might have some issues.
But on the reverse of that, of the old people playing young, forever in Hollywood, we've had children who have been put into the position of acting, and they're put into this job that is an adult job, but sometimes you need a kid because there's a character that is a kid. That's not always maybe the best thing, right? Like, you look at the history of child actors, and it's not like it has a good track record. Like, it's not got a good win-loss record as far as, like, people coming up in Hollywood. I would hope it's better now, but obviously none of us have the inside
Children
scoop,
are not good with money.
Well,
They don't know the value of money.
That's for sure.
For
right?
one.
Yeah.
And
then if you grow up always having tons
they're-
of it,
they're
you'll
not-
never understand.
They're not
the value
wise
of money.
either.
Right.
They have no. They're not.
Right. You don't have any life experience because you don't have to have life experience.
And a
You
lot
have-
of the times,
you have people who take care of you.
the people
but
who take
then
care of
those
them
people
are not famous or
That's
whatever.
okay. I'm sure you're gonna educate me. I'm sure you've done your research. But are most child actors? Do they come from famous people?
So I
Or
don't
they-
think most do, but a lot do.
Okay.
I mean,
And
even-
how do they fare compared to the
easier
ones that
to
come from
make it
people
up
without
in that-
money?
Yeah,
you know?
I think
The
so.
Nepa babies or
so
whatever?
let's think about some Nepo babies, like Drew Barrymore, for example.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore is a great example of that. She was a child actress. She's in E.T. She came all the way up. As a teen, she was in Firestarter, and then she slowly went into like Riding with Cars with Boys, Charlie's Angels, a hit big. So I think maybe she was more prepared for the business, or more
Didn't
so.
she go through a drug phase?
I'm sure
yeah,
she did.
for sure.
Pretty-
And when
yeah.
and that was in her.
It's like
her
a 13-year-old.
It's like a teen. She was
Yeah.
like in
Yeah, but like
AA or something. I don't know, but
she had a drug phase, sure, but like everyone has that. She didn't like get so crazy that.
I
like,
think it was like a bad deal.
really.
Yeah.
What
She had
did
to
she
go
do?
to like
Yeah.
rehabilitation and
Oh
stuff.
man, Drew.
Rehab.
Drew. I never knew.
I think
Yeah.
I'm slightly younger than you, but I think that like when Riding with Cars with Boys and all that stuff was coming out, I think I remember like the people in my family saying like, "Oh, good on her, she's coming back."
Oh,
She's,
so
like,
so that was like her
coming
Robert Downey
out of,
Jr.
like,
moment,
her
and I just
fa-
didn't even realize.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
so.
that's how
yeah,
bad it
because
was.
after that,
So
she
she-
jumped on Letterman and showed her tits for some
Oh,
reason.
yeah, I do remember
And
that.
I don't know if that was after or before.
I think that was after. I feel like that
Probably
was during the like
after.
Scream time period.
yeah,
But
maybe.
she came up. I'm glad we're talking about her a lot because she came up when I was talking with Amber, because I feel like kids who are child stars have a lot more problems than kids who are child actors.
Okay.
And so we couldn't decide with her if we considered her a child star or a child actor, because as a child, she was from a famous family.
She was
and
definitely
in-
a star.
But was she the star of E.T.? I mean, you knew who she was, I guess. Was she
She
Dakota
popped.
Fanning levels? Like,
Sure.
because I wasn't alive.
Yeah, she
yet,
was. I
so-
was definitely alive.
So-
yeah, no,
so
she
she-
was.
so
she was
she
like
was a
one of the
star.
big. Yeah, because
So-
she
so
spent
then-
most of the time with E.T. She was cute, and then she popped for
So then
other
that-
movies like Firestarter.
So
and
then
another
that-
Stephen
She was a
King
star.
Yeah,
type movie.
So that tracks with my theory that stars are the ones that tend to tank. So being educated on Drew Barrymore here, the ones who really get popular are the ones that seem to burn out. Like, they're the ones who get too close to the sun and the wings melt and they fall. Like, Justin Timberlake was a child star, but he was already like almost an adult by the time he became a star. Ryan Gosling was a child star, but like then he was almost an adult before Joseph Gordon-Levitt, for example, child star. Well, I don't know. He was pretty young when Third Rock hit. He was
Well,
pretty
they
young.
have. I mean, like Sally Fields.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she played she was like a really popular child star. She was a surfboarder and like a flying nun.
Yeah, the flying nun
and stuff. Yeah, and then
she did pretty well, actually.
Yeah, I don't think anything really
I think there's a few
happened to her. Then
Leo?
She kind of got.
Yeah, I mean, but exactly, Leo, I feel like was a child actor, right? And well, Gilbert Grape was really big. You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right, because he was still
Gilbert
young in
Grape was
Titanic
still-
too, wasn't he? He was
Yeah.
like 15 then.
But that might prove your theory more. But wasn't he on a TV show before all that?
So he was on Growing Pains.
Growing Pains,
and he
he was
did
there.
some. He did
Okay.
some like one-off stuff. He was on an episode of Roseanne.
Toward like the last season of Growing Pains or something, he was like the kid they adopted.
Right.
So you would consider him a child actor.
I feel like he was a
Yeah.
child actor, but
Definitely
I don't
was a
know.
star
He
at
was
that point.
But he did become a star though. Where like I don't know, a Justin not a Justin Timberlake, a JTT. He was a huge star, and then nothing happens, right?
Oh, but you're also again another recent star, Patty Duke.
okay, yeah.
She won an Oscar for playing Helen Keller, and then
Yeah.
and then she had the big TV show where she played twins.
Right,
and then like nothing, I don't think.
Yeah, it's almost like maybe I'm wrong on child star, but it's more like
But she had a bunch of drug shit happen and
More
stuff
like
like that
the
too. I think her
Albatross
parents
thing.
were forcing alcohol down.
well,
her
and
stuff.
that's something we'll have to talk about
Yeah.
for sure. But I feel like maybe more like less of a star, more like a albatross thing, like McLovin and how Marshawn Lynch refused to not call him McLovin on that Stars on Mars show. Like more like The Exorcist, for example.
Yeah.
She doesn't live that down. Little Miss Sunshine, like she did a few more things, but that's basic.
Urkel.
Urkel, yeah. Sixth Sense Kid, like he had a handful of stuff around then, but he's always icy, and now he's fucking hilarious.
His problem is that he never stopped looking like a bigger, stretched out version of the Sixth Sense Kid, and it freaks me out. And I've seen some other stuff, and he is freaking hilarious. I don't remember his name.
he like one
so
of
it's
those
Haley Joel Osment.
freaking
Yeah,
bobblehead
okay, yeah.
guys. It's like a bobblehead,
Yeah.
human
Yes.
bobblehead.
He's just a bigger version of
Yeah,
himself.
he did. He
as
did
a
just.
Sixth-
It's like
yeah.
like they didn't hold shift while they dragged the JPEG, and it just kind of got uneven.
And I think that makes it hard because you start out cute, and then you become like
And
kind
how
of creepy
about
looking.
That the kid.
Yeah.
Here's one that's acute to creep is Freddie Highmore, the kid from Finding Neverland that ended up becoming the good doctor, and he did Bates Motel too.
Oh yeah.
He was the cutest kid in the world. He
he's
was
a good-looking guy,
Charlie
though,
in the-
right?
yeah, sure. He
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a
Oh,
good-looking
here's
guy,
one.
But he like plays that creep that. He's been playing an autistic guy on TV for 20 years
Yeah,
now.
I hate that show. I freaking
Oh, yeah,
hate-
it's not
My
good.
grandma watches that show, and it's so awful.
No, it's not
He's
good.
like, I am a doctor. I don't like it. It's offensive to me.
When I was young, they had the Bad News Bears, and on there, the hot guy was the hot
Yeah.
dude is now plays Freddy Krueger, and like the Rorschach from.
Oh, yeah.
He's extremely unattractive.
Yeah, he was the hot one in the original Bad
Yeah.
News. I did not know that. That Rorschach
The original
was the hot guy.
Bad News. He was Kelly or I can't remember his name, but I love that movie.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, hell yeah. Bad News Bears. Walter Matthau.
Yeah,
Classic.
Tatum O'Neal had a crush, I think.
Ooh, I see. For me, my Bad News Bears was Little Giants. I love the Little Giants. I will forever love fucking.
Sandlot?
Oh yeah, Sandlot was also a good Bad News Bears. That's true. We had a lot of good Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
We had tons of Bad News Bears.
Mighty Ducks?
Oh yeah, Mighty Ducks.
Oh, man, I had one.
Quack, quack.
I had one Bad News Bears. I was the Bad
Rookie
News
of the
Bears.
year.
And then you
Angels
guys even
in the
redid the Bad
outfield.
News Bears.
Yeah,
and I'm
we got
like,
that
man,
too. Yeah,
Jesus.
Is Airbud a Bad News Bear?
I feel like he is. I feel like that's a bad. Airbud's a Rudy.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So we talked about drugs a little bit. Let's get back to that because I feel like that goes back to the roots of Hollywood in general. Hollywood is a scummy place, and it's because it started as a scummy place. You had all of these people who came from circuses, right? They were grifters.
Yeah.
And they were the ones who were your entertainers, your circus, your vaudeville, whatever.
That makes sense.
And so that's why you've got all these people who you need someone who can do some flips or whatever. You bring in all these people to film your stuff. And if you watch like some of the documentaries about old filming. I mean, there was even that movie that what's her name did, Margot Robbie, Babylon, where they were just filming hundreds of things right next to each other in just like a big empty lot. Sorry, I smacked that cord.
That cord's up there.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
I can hang myself if I get
The hanging
get too
cord.
down. But like they were just trying to churn people in and out, make a quick buck. They would be filming all day long, so all the adults are doing coke. You need your kids to do something. You put them on coke. You could buy cocaine at the fucking pharmacist. It was in your Coca-Cola. These kids were hopped up on fucking everything because they needed them to keep working.
Well, it's not like, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never thought about that.
Judy Garland, for sure.
and you're not surrounded by people who have a moral compass. You're surrounded by the original carnies. Like, it's a carny business. As much as they want to talk about it being prestige or whatever because it became that, it got money, but it starts as a carny business.
Yeah. If I was a bearded lady, I would for sure probably try to toss my kids into acting.
Well, fuck yeah. I mean,
Because my only thing was that I could grow a beard.
yeah, I mean, because you understood how to capitalize on your attributes. You understood how to make that money, honey.
I want to say something about bearded ladies.
Yeah.
Their beards are never that great.
I know. I agree.
I actually feel bad for them most of the time because I'm like, but also I'm like, you're kind of milking this.
Well, sure.
You just didn't.
You just didn't shave. Yeah, you just didn't pluck. Like, it's
you could probably go to a mall and throw a few rocks and hit one person who is capable
of
being
growing a beard.
some of these bearded ladies.
No, I agree.
Now, some of them got nice. Some of them, you see old
every
footage.
once in a while you get a good,
But
like,
a lot
testosterone.
of times it's just...
Yeah, it faded. They just, beards weren't the thing that could get you famous. Unless you put bees on them.
That's true.
Unless you had a beard of bees.
Ooh, that's always so scary. But I feel like it'd be fun. Like, it'd tickle a little.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want to feel them buzz up against my skin a little bit. I don't know. It feels like that'd be fun.
Yeah, it's much easier, tougher to keep.
Ooh, that's true.
It's tougher to keep.
What kind of oil do you use on a beard of bees?
Bees wax?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably it. You just wax them in there. None of yours, though. None of your beeswax. So we going back, just old Hollywood.
Before we get too started, I'd like to address that. I don't know why I looked at my Grease 2 again. I'd like to address Dennis saying that we probably did a lot more research.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't.
I was gonna say, I was like, my research was last night. I watched Dickie Roberts, child star.
Did you get any insight from that?
I fell asleep.
Ah, dang.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I feel like I've only seen it once.
Brendan Fraser was in it at one point.
Really?
He had a line, and it was so badly given. I was like, that dude just won an Oscar, and he's freaking. Delivering these lines? Come on.
I mean, still got George of the Jungle's still out there, so
yeah,
he'll never live that down. I guess not a child star. No, he was young though. But
Encino Man, was he teenager?
Yeah,
in Encino Man.
Him and old Polly were teens. Pauly Shore was such a douche when I met him.
You met Pauly Shore.
So I got to open for him one time, and he just was completely blown out of his mind the whole time. This was, I think, recently maybe he's gotten more cleaned up. I don't know, but man, he was just such a douchebag.
Oh wow, yeah, that's what I hear.
He pinching on my fucking love handles every time he walks by and shit. Like, dude, just fucking leave me alone.
Oh, maybe that's his,
Yeah, maybe that's his love language.
Yeah.
Listen, if I can
Physical
get a
touch.
wedgie from Carrot Top, I will have accomplished my comedy bucket list.
So Carrot Top's face has a wedgie. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, he always makes references to Wendy's and stuff. So we'll have little we interacted with him, I think, on TikTok or some shit. I don't know. But early Hollywood drugs leads me to Shirley Temple and Judy Garland.
I was going to ask about Shirley Temple.
So Shirley Temple, I know she had some stories, but she tried not to tell too many of them, and I don't know why in the end, because she really got kicked to the curb. She's this lady who they were making so much money off of.
They made a ton of movies, and
they
just
pumped them out. She was constantly working for 2 or 3 years, and then they all just turned their back on her. They load her up with drugs to film all these movies, and then they just leave her with the money she has. She's an addict. I'm sure her parents stole money from her back then. You just end up in squalor, and yet what? It's 50 years later, and I don't know anyone on Earth who doesn't know who Shirley Temple is.
Yeah.
She just got used and abused, and it's wild. Judy Garland, same way. The stories of how they made her, the amount of coke they pumped into that poor woman's body while making Wizard of Oz. That she must have been so fucking tripped out of her head that whole time. Like, she probably had no idea what was going on. She's surrounded by munchkins. She's got talking scarecrows. She's just on every drug imaginable.
Did people snort coke back then, or did they have like tinctures?
You know,
because I've never seen a 1920s movie where people are just like ripping lines of coke.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think they. Yeah, they might do a little bump. I feel like they might do like little key bumps, like with the little, like little tiny spoons. But
maybe.
At most, I think you're right. I think it's tonics. I think it was like medical and stuff.
Maybe
like,
it's like
just make them drink
like
it.
Metabolife.
Have you seen like those old, like, there's the things and it's like, here's this, it's pain medicine, and it's like chloroform, morphine, cocaine, heroin, and like that's just what they gave you at the doctor. So they're like, toss her another coke, a stack or two.
It makes sense though, because
if
you invented that shit,
if
you'd be like, this
you just
works.
Gotta keep
this
you gotta
fucking
slow
works.
down, man. Don't get a ton of it.
Yeah, just
you know,
microdose.
That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you
microdose a little coke. Maybe get some Diet Coke in there so you don't get too crazy.
Business idea. Some of these states that are legalizing all drugs.
Yeah.
Could we make vintage tinctures?
Vintage Coca-Cola.
Like this is the shit people were doing in like 1915.
I mean that's actually probably something people would travel to do. Like, if you became a specific
I think
you could sell that out of a little
chemist,
wagon.
Oh man.
One time
cool.
I think for a Christmas present once, my mom got my brother this
cocaine,
business
this Coke ring.
Oh, really?
This ring that had a little deal in it that you could open it up,
and
you
could
could
do the
put
little bump.
Yeah, like
You get
Coke in it.
Yeah, you get the
but
little
it looked
spoon.
medieval though, kind of.
That's
So
cool.
it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But I was like, this opens up for. I don't know if he does or not.
Did he do Coke with it?
I
I'm
don't think he did.
gonna have to ask him.
Yeah, ask him if he did Coke, but he'll remember that for sure.
Did she not know what it was?
No, at the same Christmas, she got me these. She said they were Chinese medicine balls, but they were definitely some kind of anal bead thing. Because they're all linked and.
She's like, I put Christmas shopping off to the last minute. I met a guy at the mall. He sold me some
He's
stuff.
got a Coke ring and Benoit balls. There we go.
He said, one hit of this, you pull on these, and you'll come like a tiger.
Yeah, it's good Christmas.
So looking at it and going back to like what's a star and what's a child actor, I feel like a great example for me is the difference between Macaulay Culkin and like his brothers, Kieran Culkin, Rory Culkin. Like they were around, they did little bit parts, but they were child actors. So that leaves his brother open to be able to do Succession as an adult. Where Macaulay, he was a star. Do you ever get Kevin McAllister and Richie Rich out of your head when you look at Macaulay Culkin? It's hard.
Yeah, but plus the others are much better actors too.
Well, I mean, but Kevin never really had Kevin. See, there you go. Macaulay never really had that. He did a couple things when he was a little older.
Remember we just reviewed? We just reviewed Home Alone on our Christmas podcast. Go
listen to the Christmas movie marathon,
the Arson Club Christmas movie marathon. We did Home Alone, and the best thing about that movie, I thought, was Fuller, his brother.
And he didn't even have a line. And
he didn't have a line. Outshined him.
So maybe that just was it. Maybe he just had the it thing and he just had to wait to really act.
Yeah, maybe. Does he get lines in the second movie? Because I saw that he's
in it. He's drinking. He does drink Coke in the second movie, just so everyone knows. The lines specifically, Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi in the first one, and I think they must have made a brand deal to switch it to Coke in the second one. I've always thought that was fascinating.
Is it weird that I often think about how delicious milk is with pizza because of that movie? I watched it all the time with my sister, and at the beginning, he has this like ice cold milk with his pizza, and I to this day, if I'm at home, it's great. Also, the school system made us do milk with pizza.
That's
maybe
true.
I
have done that.
Brainwashed.
That's good. Wednesdays, you'd get just chocolate milk and a little
chocolate milk, even regular milk with a slice of pizza.
We didn't even mention that in our deal.
Milk and pizza. Yeah, that does stand out. Dang. So let's move forward in time a little bit. Let's talk the Disney Nickelodeon to Hollywood pipeline.
Before we get what do you think about kids who I think realize, because you said the child star thing or whatever, like Ron Howard?
Yeah, sure.
He was like Opie.
Yeah,
and
totally.
he was. Which, if you're on TV, you're the biggest star because you're right in front of. They only 3 channels.
He taught himself too. He taught himself everything about the business while he was young.
And he got in there, did that. He was in Music
Smart.
Man. He was Eddie in the original. Courtship of Eddie's father.
He
not
was in
the Munsters.
He was in what's it called? American Graffiti, right?
Because he went. Yeah, he was in American Graffiti. He got to play in Happy Days as well. Mm-hmm. But I think he realized. I think what his deal was. And then he went. Now he's just
huge director.
Yeah. Which do you think that's the star as a kid thing, or do you think it's just like you can either be a really hot ginger or you're going to be a really ugly ginger, and you just realized he was going to be the ugly ginger. You better get behind the camera.
I think he definitely realized that there's definitely a ginger ripeness, and if you get overripe, you're no longer. So as a lot of unfortunately for male gingers, sorry if you're listening, your ripeness age is much younger than female gingers. Some female gingers don't ripen until very late. They age like fine wines. Male gingers, not so much, y'all. It's unfortunate, but you look like little freckled trolls. You do, and I think Ron Howard was smart enough to know that he was ripening. He knew the hair was falling out.
He didn't want to turn into Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, he went. You know what? I'm at the point where I understand that this face needs to go from in front to behind the camera. I think that was it. I think he knew.
So I guess that didn't really prove anything on this Stars deal.
But it was a child star who. That's another thing though. Like where he had found another path, right? He became a director. It's kind of Fred Savage-y. He did the same thing where he became like a writer director after being a child star. It's very similar. So that's another path that the child stars have for sure. And then, of course, as cable blew up, there was the Nickelodeon to Disney to Hollywood pipeline where they just started cultivating these kids. They just went and they got these kids that they just trained up and developed shows around and made albums around, and then they would sell them. And basically, everyone was their own little version of the Monkees. You had, Miley Cyrus and Shia LaBeouf, and they all got their little kiddie sitcom, and they all got their albums. And then when they weren't cute anymore, they got kicked to the curb.
And those guys don't. And a lot of those guys, when they got kicked out, they didn't do movies and things. They went to music or whatever.
Well, it seems like what it was is a lot of these
Miley
people.
Cyrus did.
Demi Lovato,
did.
Ariana Grande was Nickelodeon. She was on Sam and Cat.
I don't know if Selena Gomez. I guess she still does some acting.
Yeah, she does some acting. She's a little more.
Ariana Grande, yeah.
Selena Gomez, I feel like, is a little more of a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
Is what I'll call her.
Oh, and there was that thing where the creepy Nickelodeon dude was always taking pictures of iCarly's feet. Yeah.
So Dan Schneider, and that's something that makes me have a little less hope that Hollywood has ever cleaned up its act, is because this was early 2000s, late 90s. Dan Schneider runs Nickelodeon. He's a fucking sex pest. He's a sex pest in charge of all these kids shows. He's, inviting certain kids back to private rooms. And now I read the Jeanette McCurdy book, the book, I'm Glad My Mom Died. Excellent book. Everyone should read it. She doesn't say too much because there are definitely things that there's reasons you can't say too much in a book when you're telling the truth, is because you can get sued. If you don't have something very specifically to prove that it happened, you could get sued and lose a lot of the royalties that you make off your book. So there's things that are implied in the book, but I think a lot more happened than she says. But let me tell you, that gives you an inside look at show moms, how fucked up like that can be. Like these show moms, they get these kids and they try to control their diets. They turn them into bulimics and anorexics, and it's wild, man. I couldn't even take the pressure my dad had trying to make me play little league fucking baseball. I can't even imagine having
quit karate because
right?
So much pressure.
What in the world? And these kids are on national TV, pumped full of drugs, told they can't eat anything, and
I guess it's the same thing as.
And then some guy wants to take a picture of their feet in the back room.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a person do
Yeah,
that?
because you always have those parents that are like punching the umpire and stuff that because they're like they're
vicariously
getting their kid to go through.
I mean, for me, I feel like that was what my dad wanted. I was never good at sports, but he put me in all the sports because he wanted to vicariously live through the sports. And I think most parents do that to some extent. What did they want to do? Well, maybe my kid can do it. It's fine. I think what else can you do when a kid doesn't know what it wants? But then once the kid gets old enough to like be like, I'm not really into this anymore. As long as you let them stop doing it, I don't mind. But these show parents, they wouldn't. They'll manipulate. They'll gaslight. They'll make these kids feel like they're responsible for the family.
They're all gaslight.
Yeah, they feel like they're responsible for their family.
Oh, if you quit now, then we can't.
Because they come from poor houses a lot of times. They like her house. They were hoarders, and she lived with her grandparents and like 15 people or not that many, but it was a lot of people.
I guess it would be tough to do that at all without gaslighting them and somebody, not on purpose.
Well, because they can't make a real decision at that age, right? So like at some point you gotta like convince them to do stuff, and it's like, where's the ethical line there?
Oh man, this is wow.
Deep, right?
Yeah, I mean, you think there might be also an aspect of like weird like people who like don't even want kids but they have them, and then like there might be an aspect of like, I might as well use this thing, like somebody's gonna do it, like somebody's got to be on the commercial, so like I might as well use this thing.
There's not a real love there, but you still have this kid, so
you got to do something with it.
That's what my mom did, except I guess I didn't live up to acting abilities or anything like that.
Did you act as a kid?
No.
She just made him.
She just made me do fucking
everything.
Yeah,
he had to be a Girl Scout.
Hey, why did you announce that on the podcast?
I feel like we have.
But that's so weird.
Yeah, she lived through. Maybe. Yeah, she lived through me. That's a freaking true deal. She was freaking put me on there.
It was crazy
because she wanted to be a Girl Scout. I guess. I don't know. She made me be a Girl Scout because
this is real.
Oh yeah.
Because there was no rules in it that boys couldn't be in there, and then
insane.
Gosh. I didn't know if I really
That's your child actor moment.
I guess so. Being forced to be in the Girl Scouts.
That makes sense though, because it's like this. I'm not talking about your mom. I'm talking about these moms. No.
Because I've known you. You're just walking around with patches all over the place, trying to make fires,
trying to make knots.
He can tie a good knot. I've seen it.
I don't want a cookie, Paul. So that's not about your mom. I don't talk about your mom. I don't know your mom, but like this whole show parent thing, that would make so it's like this narcissistic, like, how do I use a person? Then you're like using your own kid. I don't know. And then if they're poor and you're gonna make money and get attention, what is that? This is bumming me out.
Yeah, right. I feel like child actors is
I don't. Because
it's a huge bummer.
Even getting them started. How does it get started? Because it can't be their decision, really, right?
Well, and
I guess maybe now it is because everybody's on. All the kids are on
TikTok and
sure. I mean, a little bit, but even then, at that age, is it still really your decision? Because your brain's still forming, right?
Right. Wouldn't it be a parent's job to be like, you don't want to be that?
Because any kid wants to be Harry Potter. Any kid. But Daniel Radcliffe now probably is like, oh my God, if I could go back, I probably wouldn't have been Harry Potter. Or maybe he would because, he's been successful since then. But like, at first, you gotta feel like, that's it. I'm fucking Harry Potter forever. And he's ended up doing, I feel like him and Hermione ended up doing pretty well for themselves after a while. Her a little more so because she wasn't like the main face of the franchise, so she could immediately start doing movies. Him, I feel like he had to just like make you forget. Like, he went to do plays where he was, like, showing his dick. He was, like, doing all these he still does crazy stuff. All the stuff he does is, like, wild, offbeat, like, stuff that make, like, Swiss Army Man or whatever, that makes you guns akimbo. It makes you not think about Harry Potter. He did a great job making
both
you
those
stop.
movies.
Yeah. He did an amazing job making you stop thinking about Harry Potter, but that's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, you got to establish yourself as.
Right.
Yeah, like you said, almost has to go total.
He has to break it all down
and
start over.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it helps that you were Harry Potter because people have that recognition with you. But at first, that's tough.
Also, the redheaded kid, not getting a lot of work. He was on that M. Night Shyamalan deal last movie, but that's about the last time I saw him.
Again, with the redhead theory, I feel like he did a ton of stuff while they were young. Like, he was the one doing other stuff while they were young. And now as adults, I watched that Harry Potter special where they all got back together and were talking and stuff. And he's just, like, living with his family and doing his thing.
I think it's even tougher to live down. Like, you could Harry Potter, that's fine.
Sure, you're the star.
But Weasley?
Sure,
that seems
that's
like
not a great name.
That's like
That's
like
not a great
the
name.
Screech, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna live down those at all, or Urkel, all those ones you can't live down.
Okay, but how about Neville Longbottom? Have you seen pictures of this dude as an adult?
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so listen to that name, and it's exactly the kid that you expect that name to apply to. He's the goof, like, fucking doofus from Harry Potter, and now as an adult, apparently he's fucking hot.
Oh,
He's a hot dude. Yeah, he got
yeah.
sexy as shit.
Comes 180.
Oh yeah.
Neville's tight bottom.
Josh from Jake and Josh got himself all in shape.
And Drake ended up being a pedophile.
Great.
He did?
Awesome.
Oh, I'm so
man.
far out of popular culture. Don't you feel like there's this messed up cultural thing, speaking of like the Disney and the Nickelodeon kids, where there's like a set cycle we have to witness all the time, where something...
You can see their heartbreak coming.
You can see like, okay, and then in 4 years we're gonna hypersexualize them, and then we'll praise them for that, and then they're gonna go. Then after that phase, they go to like the good girl phase again, where they're like, "Now I'm a fully fledged adult.
I am
like,
a woman.
I have and then it's like it happens with so many, and it's like a clear career path, and I don't know what's going on with
yeah,
and
like
you
the
can see
Robert
it
Downey
coming.
Jr. type of deal where he goes down.
Yeah. And then people say, then there's like the same script. Everyone's supposed to say, they're like, well, you know, they had it rough as a kid, and then they had to like find themselves, and then they found themselves. But like we're constantly, it happens to individuals, but then we're all constantly in that cycle with new people. So like culturally, we're in like all three of those phases at once, and you can't actually have any like opinions or morals on anything, because like you have to be in all three of those at once. Like you have to like say it's okay to be a child actor, but it's not okay. Yeah. It has to be like the sex phase has to be okay, but it's not okay. And then like the coming of age, you're supposed to like forget about all the past trauma and all that weird stuff, but you're experiencing that with like 8 different child stars all at once. And so we live in this like denial, weird, messed up thing in America.
It'll be okay this time.
And we just export it, and you wonder why they hate us.
Yeah, I mean...
Anyway.
No, I feel like you're right. I feel like you're nailing it. Hollywood and the child actor pipeline is almost like an allegory for how we treat not lesser people. That's a horrible thing to say. That's not what I meant at all.
I get what you're saying,
how we treat minorities and women in standard society.
Women,
right?
for sure.
You keep them on this. The patriarchy keeps you on a specific timeline where you do what we need you to do. You're a good girl. We teach you how to do this, and then we sexualize you before you're ready for it. And we put you into all these positions where men are talking to you everywhere you go. They're making these comments. They're slapping your ass. But then on the backhand of it, we don't want you to be sexualized. We don't want you to act sexy. We don't want you to. We want you to be this innocent person. To be... And then on the
I think we secretly do.
Right? Yes, we do.
Yeah,
but we don't.
Right.
And then,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then so then women end up getting bought into that. I mean, it really is like the way we've set up culture to chew people up and spit them out for sexual desire is insane. And I think you're right that child acting is inherently tied to that.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, nice. Fucked up. Plus you get all this. You grow up acting. You're a child actor. You're not.
You never know who
being
you are.
Yourself, who you are, how to be. Kind of. Maybe even what Michael Jackson went through.
I mean, for sure.
From,
like all
this
of
is
his
what you're
crimes,
supposed to be on stage or whatever, and this is what you're supposed to do.
And
then
you fail. If
all
you
of
fall
his,
off, you fail.
All of his crimes are specifically tied back to things that also happened to him. It was definitely a circle of abuse thing, for sure. And I mean, even just not kids being abused, even in real life, just the roles they have to play, for example. These are kids, like, how much do they know the difference between fantasy and reality?
It's the point when they're learning. Yeah. That's when they're supposed to learn stuff.
So, like, say, even a fun, happy comedy movie, I hope I don't just ruin this for people, but, like, let's just talk about, like, Daddy's Home, where Daddy's Home 2, the daughter, she's drinking, she's cussing. I'm saying, it's a goofy movie, but she's drinking and she's cussing and she's learning all these things, and she's getting laughs out of it. When you're a kid, a laugh is like positive reinforcement. She thinks that behavior is the type of behavior that gets you good attention. That could really warp her. Now, I'm not saying that happened to the kid. I'm sure she's fine. But I'm just saying, like, when you're a kid, and you can't separate fantasy and reality. Like, how do you know what's okay when you're playing King Joffrey and people are telling you to be an awful person? I mean, he stepped away from acting in general, which is potentially the healthiest thing that's ever happened.
Character. He was my favorite character in them.
Oh yeah, he was amazing, incredible. But yeah, I mean, as as depressing as child acting really gets when you get down to the bottom of it,
man,
I think it could be better for sure. It's just hard to find. Here's my plan. I got a plan to fix all of it.
Oh shit! Okay.
We're gonna clean up the drugs. But even if we do that, thank you,
Ronald Reagan.
We're gonna clean up the drugs. War on drugs.
No more drugs.
So even if we clean up the drugs, there's still the problem of show parents. So we got to get rid of kids in general. I'm not saying get rid of kids, but don't use them.
I was just gonna say this. Okay.
We use AI
Ooh.
to create children.
That might be worse.
I mean, okay, yes, there's some obviously bad implications there too. But here's how we keep it safe. We use like smaller humans or like animals or things that are child size.
Yes.
So that they're still paying an actor so that you can't do certain things to them or something. So that it still works into the contracts.
Oh.
The new actors are just the TikTok people, right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's what the kids watch,
Yeah,
right?
they do love some TikTok.
So whatever they're doing, I mean, there's no way to not have
at this point everyone's
the kids in front of they've got a camera.
They grow up with
the
camera in their face now.
There's no way not to have
Maybe
them.
it's going to be fixed now because people aren't going to force them to do it. They're going to choose to do it or choose not to do it on their own at an age where they get to. Now
That's
that
a whole like Brave New World versus 1984 question.
Totally.
Though, like, which is worse?
Yeah.
Which is worse?
Yeah.
Is it better that now it's open to everybody, or was it better when we only made a few kids suffer? I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, back when in my day, there's only a few.
You can't
right?
Yeah,
And they're all doing it voluntarily.
And now you're growing up constantly being perceived. That's it. Everyone is constantly perceived from the moment of birth, whether they choose to or not, because the moment you pop out, your mom puts up 150 pictures of your shrinkled up little alien baby face. You're all over the world. You're all over the internet. You have no choice. You will be perceived. And we had the choice to not be when we were growing up.
Yeah. My mom, she never took one picture of me.
Right.
I don't have any pictures of me.
And so you didn't even have to worry about, like, what anyone else thought.
Yeah, especially not Facebook. I have a plan. Okay, this is a grassroots plan.
I love it.
Okay, like Me Too happened.
Okay,
maybe there needs to just be an overall cultural consensus that, like, back in the day, okay, there was Shirley Temple and all that stuff.
Sure.
But there wasn't just, like, TV shows that were, like, all about kids, right?
That's true.
There were.
Oh, okay.
There were?
What do we have?
Sure, they had the Partridge Family, you had the Brady Bunch.
That's
okay.
True. And you had, what you talking about, Willis?
Okay.
Yeah, those are the main
Maybe I'm wrong.
yeah, which is not the name of it, but
No,
yes.
yeah, it's
Good Times.
Webster, was that
I think it's Good Times? No, that's a different one. But that was kids too.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson was on that even at one point. That was a Good Times. It was something like it. Never mind. Go ahead.
Well, okay, I guess what I'm saying, there wasn't like a constant cycle. Like it's expanding, right?
Yeah, because
like
you need so much content that it
Okay.
keeps like going now.
Maybe we need to just create, or there needs to be some kind of grassroots thing where a bunch of people come together and they're just like, we shouldn't have all these shows starring children, like, period. They just shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
There just shouldn't be kids shows. Like, if you want a kid show, you can have like a Puppets or a Mr. Rogers.
Or maybe you act it out
Shouldn't
like
it-
10-15 where it's adults playing children.
Or there's cartoons.
We go back
Maybe
to One Tree Hill.
You don't have those people, and you're like, we're just going to stop doing this.
No more portrayal of children.
You can have them like in a sitcom, maybe.
Man, I don't think we'll get there.
I don't
You
think
could
that'll
get
help.
there.
I think adults playing children is not going to help at all.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm
face.
certain.
That's just gonna make it way worse.
Yeah, because they're like, we did this, yeah, but they're look at him, he's 40. Yeah, but you're showing them that it's okay to freaking rob a bank or whatever the hell they're doing.
That's a
at
good
this
point.
Yeah, but think about all the stuff that's happened with like consent or like the culture around the way you make certain content. Like you could slowly over time like they could look like a person born today 30 years from now could look at like kids shows from our childhood and be like, "Ew, gross. Why were you using kids like that?" It is possible to create that over a long enough time.
So I feel like that's just kind of really, if you look at child acting and then you look at society as the whole, they're kind of progressing side by side in similar ways. Things are not as bad as they would have been because people can see everything all the time. Stories are being told more. There's a little more open and honesty. The more we see everything, the better it is for everyone. But in the end, humans have the capacity for bad. And when money becomes involved, the capacity increases. So as long as the children make money, there's going to be negativity around the child.
Yeah. And plus,
So unfortunately, money is always going to perverse everything. So that's forever going to be the problem. But as society progresses, at least things can be better. But they could never probably be fixed. We can't fix humans.
That's true.
We can't fix humans.
Yeah. Like, no matter what you... Like, how do you feel about the Island Boys?
Yeah.
Is that the three...
No, it's like the two brothers that have they got like some kind of a freaking war makeup or something.
Dang.
The Island Boys.
I'm unfamiliar with the Island Boys.
Oh, they were like...
They sing the song.
Stars.
Island Boys. We're the Island Boys. Something like that.
But you know that they're like gay together now.
Are they?
Were they?
Yeah, they have like an
They're not
OnlyFans
related,
or something.
right?
No, they're brothers.
They're
like
brothers?
twin brothers.
Yeah, some weird thing. Yeah, wow.
No.
Yeah. So they fell off.
So that's what's going to happen if we don't.
Super viral, and
We're
they
gonna
fell
get-
off, and
everybody's
then
gonna
they
be Island
started
Boys.
doing sexual things.
Oh boy, the internet's just so fucked. Everyone's gonna be Island Boys.
Everyone's going to be Island Boys.
Well, we slowly.
I made lists.
Oh, what do you got?
Oh, 'cause, of the people that we think are going to come up and start. Like
Oh,
more
yeah,
of a positive note.
Yeah. So let's end on this positive note. Like, who do you see out there right now that you think's gonna make it? You seen a kid like out there that's doing the damn thing?
I made a list of like 3 here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
One is the that girl from Game of Thrones and the Walking and the Last of Us girl.
Oh yeah.
I think she's going to go.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I like her too.
I can't remember her name, but
Bella something.
oh yeah, Bella something. They're all named Bella these days.
I know, that's a pretty popular. I mean, Twilight, right?
Yeah.
You got another good one?
The Megan, that robot girl.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Dang, you really did pull some good ones.
Fits into your deal, that robot girl. And the last one actually has ties. The e-commerce baby. I think he's probably because he has ties back to. Do you know he's voiced by Pete Holmes?
I did not. Oh. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but he has ties back to other child actors.
Okay.
Because his grandma is the Miracle Mop lady, the Joy the Miracle Mop lady.
Oh.
Yeah, who was played
love
by
that
Jennifer
story.
Lawrence.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, who is a child actor.
Right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so those are my 3.
Dang.
Bella, what's her name? Megan, the robot girl from
I've
I've
personally
e-commerce
been
baby.
I have been terrible at predicting people having good careers, so I actually have a list of people that I thought were gonna be bigger stars that never made it because I don't want to curse anybody else. I've decided I don't want to curse anybody else.
In general, I think between us, we've freaking have
we
cursed
do.
a lot
We
of
curse
people.
everyone. But here's my main one who I thought, I don't know why. I thought for whatever reason she was about to just take, and she did fine. I'm not saying she didn't do well. I thought Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones was going to be the one. Like I thought she's gonna she could act a little better. She had like a non-traditional like vibe and look.
She was in that New Mutants, but other than that, I don't know
and then
anything.
that's kind of what happened. She did like New Mutants and a couple small things, and that was that. I mean, Sophie Turner, who still like didn't do too much, did way more than she did. So
what did she do? Just the X-Men, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she married Jonas.
Oh yeah, well that counts.
That counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just married Jonas.
She's friends with Taylor Swift.
Oh,
that's important.
Because she's with the Jonas?
No, they're divorcing actually.
Oh,
I think she's better friends now that's
there's
solidarity. Mm-hmm. The Swifties stick together.
Yeah. Was Swiftie with a Jonas?
No, Taylor
Swift.
Oh, whoa. I don't know. Did she?
I don't know.
She might have dated a Jonas.
I don't know. Maybe that's how they.
We're gonna need
connected.
the Swifties to inform us. How did Taylor Swift and Sophie Turner meet? I also someone who
6 degrees of Nick Jonas.
Someone who I always thought would be a big star became a pretty big star, but I feel bad because I think that I was part of his downfall and curse for enjoying his work so much as Shia LaBeouf. I loved him forever. Thought he was so funny. I know he's got a bunch of toxic shit and a lot of like things that have happened for whatever reason. I'm not praising him as a person, but as an artist, I watched a ton of his stuff. I liked him. I thought he was funny. I thought he was a really good actor.
And even when he's got that stuff happening, though, when he comes back to do something, people don't seem to give a shit.
They do let him come back and do stuff. Yeah, he's a good actor. I always thought he'd be great, but man, he burned out hard, and I feel like that's part of my curse. I feel like I curse people. So,
was it that one crazy thing that he did when he went crazy or whatever and started ranting or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, he went insane in general.
Yeah.
But no, he has some cancellation stuff with a couple girls that I don't know all the details about, but I know, like...
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fucked up dude who's done fucked up things, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But... and then the one that I think might be a star, sorry if I am cursing you, kid, I keep mentioning this movie because I watch it every Christmas, but that little kid from Daddy's Home makes me laugh every fucking time. He's got the little face. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll grow out of that face and be another one of those kids, but I thought the kid from Ender's Game was going to be a bigger star than he was. I guess they did that sex education show. Anyway.
I'm so culturally like illiterate that I'm just like I don't have no idea who Megan the Robot Kid is. I don't know. I've never seen Daddy's Home. I don't know how people watch so many movies and TV shows in their life.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just wasting my time.
No, you're probably not wasting your time. It's probably what's actually happening.
I hope I meaningfully contributed in some way.
You did, absolutely.
Some of these people you mentioned, I didn't even know they were children's stars. I didn't know Ryan Gosling was a child
star.
He
was on. So if you look back at the old Mickey Mouse Club, I think that's where you can pull a lot of like early 90s stars from, but like Ryan Gosling, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they were all on there together, and yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
Saved by the Bell.
We've decided that child acting is a horrible, slime-filled, disgusting business that needs to be cleaned up.
And replaced with robots and monkeys.
Replaced with robots or monkeys, or just do better, but in general...
clean up the drugs.
I guess it's okay to put babies there, right?
Yeah,
just baby.
Yeah,
like I said,
babies.
E-commerce baby.
Well,
it's okay to be just babies because I mean
just
they
babies.
haven't. They're just,
they don't know anything.
Yeah,
they're too dumb to know anything.
Yeah.
So only baby actors from now on.
Yeah. So like, look who's talking. That's okay.
Perfect. That's
okay.
It. From now on, the look who's talking rule is in effect. Yeah. Hollywood, listen.
Yes.
Only babies.
We need more.
As soon as they can say their name, as soon as they know who Dada is, they're too old.
We need more Bruce Willis playing John Travolta's baby.
Exactly. So I guess we got into the bottom of a horrible, disgusting business. If you have a favorite child actor we didn't talk about, maybe we'll talk about him in the future. Leave us a comment on the old podcast. But I want to thank Dennis Chanay for joining us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful having you here. Anyone still listening, I didn't do plugs up front because I'm a doofus, but we got our next show January 12th at the Rhino on Armour Road in Kansas City. Listen to our other podcast. It's the Christmas Movie Marathon with the Arson Club. That's us. Big old logo back there. And outside of that...
Dennis is going to do the next one, actually.
Yeah, our next episode is going to be on Die Hard. Old Hans Gruber. So check that out. Gonna be fun. Hey, give us a follow. Give us a like. Give Dennis a follow and a like.
You got any shouts you need to do?
Just follow me on like Instagram and TikTok. That'd be fine.
What is that, Dennis?
That'd be fine. It's just Dennis Chanay Comedy.
Okay.
Dennis
so just
Chanay
my
Comedy.
name comedy. There you
and
go.
Chanay is Chanay.
You got it.
Boom.
Thank you. The last podcast I was on put all these graphics up on the screen. It was all spelled wrong. And I was like watching this in real time.
You're like, well, never mind.
Never mind.
All right, guys. I am your Snake Daddy, your Cheeseburger Princess, your Shit Poster Supreme, Matt Keck. Alongside me is the light of my life,
Paul Culkin.
Paul Culkin. All right, and that means it is Bottom Boys
Ouch.